Hello everyone, and welcome to the third AI Lithuania Hackathon. It's quite a pleasure to continue our journey, and today we will give it a talk and review. So, what will be happening this year? Year by year, we're trying to expand the various things and how we will approach the community by itself. And from that, we will expand our tracks this year, not only from the problem solving tasks like a CAG like solving competitions, but also we will have the startup pitching and startups track. And for that, we will have like multiple abilities to present your ideas, to form your initial startup idea and have the pitch. So nevertheless, this year we have a collaboration with the Linguist, and we, as an Artificial Intelligence Association of Lithuania, are continuing the journey with various events of Lithuania to bring all the community here, and we will do believe that we will have the ability to grow and grow our community. Obviously, we would like to thank our partners, the ISM, the Startup Wise guys, and the sponsors of the Vilnius Fusion Tech and the Baltic Sandbox to also helping us with this preparation of the event. So, the general information will be that since it's our third hackathon, we will have the legacy of the tasks, and in our AI task track, we will have three tasks. All three tasks will be hosted on the Kaggle platform. So basically, you will have the ability to join the task and try to give it a crack to solve any given problem. And from that, we already have 24 registrations. And just a reminder that each solving track is rewarded per winner by the €500 prize fund. So obviously, we do believe that we'll have enough submissions and there won't be any problems with selecting the winner, and the best winner will definitely provide the excellent result. But we expect that at least like a minimum 3 teams will be participating in each track. So also, what I really would like to bring, and just to mention that the main idea, as usual, this year also is to give additional motivation to give it a try and learn new skills, and especially from the technical background and the various data science people and the MLOps. Just give it a look and just look how different type of the data is currently in the typical tasks that are leading various implementations of problem solving are happening, and just give it a try, give it your best shot to solve it on your own. So this year we will have 3 tasks. So we will have like 2 text analysis tasks. So basically, you will have the financial text sentiment classification task. Our second track will have the claim classification of the product descriptions, and we will have the description about this problem. And once again, we're trying to address the main problem that we are quite familiar with in the data science about the supervised learning problems and how to create the regression or classification tasks. But nevertheless, we are facing a huge problem that not always we do know the relationships between the data and the causality. And from that, we once again are rolling out the causality inference task. So just classify whether the input variables have the direct impact on the outputs. So basically, our third task will have the causality problem. Now, in this case, I'll shortly review the basic information that we will need for our hackathon on the AI task track. So basically, everyone who will join the Slack will have the first look at the ability to log on to all of the Kaggle competition tasks. All of you who registered will receive the email with an invitation to the join Kaggle competitions as well. It will happen after this presentation. So we will have basically the whole week for the solving and give it a try and achieve the best shot solving those problems. And after the week, on the 27th, we will have the awards ceremony. Just a short information about the communication. So we will use the Slack as our main communication channel. You could join to the AI Lithuania Slack. If anything, write an email, I will send the invitation. And in that, we will have two channels. We will have the specific AI task track channel, which will be the Hackathon 2023 Kaggle task channel, and the general channel about the Hackathon itself, about the awards and so on, will happen about the Hackathon 2023 channel. So without further time, let's give it a look. So what tracks we will have this year based for the track competition. And the first task is presented by the neural technology and consisting the text-like classification of the data. And for that, I would like to shortly give it a word to Vitas to shortly present. So what is the task and what is the main challenges that we facing in this task and what the participants should expect from that.
All right, thank you very much, Linus. I'm gonna share my screen real quickly. Right, can you see my screen, Linus?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. So as Linus mentioned, my name is Vitas. I'm from company Neurotechnology, and I'm presenting the first track for this AI hackathon, and it's called Financial News Sentiment Classification. Just a little bit about the company. We mostly focus on research and development, mostly in computer vision, and we have multiple algorithms that are in top places globally. And at the moment, we have the first place for fingerprint matching. But besides computer vision, we also have other teams that work with, for example, brain computer wave scanners, and we have a team which works on NLP. Now, when it comes down to NLP at Neurotech, we have a bunch of projects: Lithuanian language, English language. We deal with financial data. We analyze job markets. And most recently, we started experimenting with ChatGPT-like models in generating texts. And also, lastly, we create a lot of proprietary NLP models. So that means that we train from scratch and we solve a bunch of tasks, sentiment analysis, summarization, keyword extraction, and much more. Now, talking about the task, what is it all about? So on the right, you see a screenshot of an article title. So let me read it real quickly. Large cap restaurant stocks may be more appetizing than they appear. So this is your data. You're here to analyze the positivity and negativity of a given text. And we have 10,000 examples to train your models on. And these articles were selected in the past year. They are randomly chosen between stocks and cryptos. And there are about 3,000 symbols in total. So if you're a beginner, I have a couple of tips for you where to start. The first one would be start small. So if you have something working, a very simple solution would just achieve something above 50% accuracy, I think that's good enough. That's really good. Then you have to look at training data. You need to do some data EDA, some exploratory analysis. What is the data all about? What are the keywords that are the most common? Which of the words could be thrown out of the window because they're not that important, these kind of things. Also, I would highly recommend you checking out previous problems or similar problems and solutions, of course, on GitHub and Kaggle. Now, when it comes down to tech stack, I highly recommend looking at Kaggle notebooks because they offer 2 free GPUs per notebook, and you have about 30 hours of training per month, which is pretty good. Then I would advise using Anaconda as your package manager and NLTK with PyTorch for doing the analysis. Now, when it comes down to algorithms, and if you want to start really small, if this is your first time doing any NLP, I highly recommend going with Bag of Words as your first choice, and then doing a little bit more advanced techniques, like, for example, Word2Vec. And of course, you can take the whole four listed here and try all of them. Now, if you're a lot more experienced, I would advise you to go with transformer-based models. They have a lot of advantage because they've been trained on quite a lot of data. They have good, they are quite easy to use, and you can add your data into it. And transformer-based models can really well be fine-tuned on a specific data set. So you should really achieve a very, very nice performance. And lastly, if you have any questions, please reach out to me via LinkedIn. Me and my team are going to help you out. And best of luck to you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
So our first track will be about the central identification, but nevertheless, by working with day-to-day tasks, we very often see that a lot of textual data appearing in many other fields. And from that, I would like to invite us to talk about the second task, which is provided by the Monitor International, about the entity extraction from the products and the classification of the fields. And without further introduction, I would like to invite this.
Hi everybody. So it's very nice it's very honored to participate in the AI Hackathon and to provide our task. So as you know, Monitor International is a market research company, and what we currently have is the VIA, our product, which every day we scan about 70 million of the product pages from retailer sites across all over the world, 40 countries, about 1,000, about 2,000 of retailers. And the idea is that what we do, is on our company, is so the daily scraping is for providing time series. And the idea is that our clients interested in the pricing data and in the product claims data. So what product attributes? So the idea is that our clients use our data to inform their decision on what's happening in the market, what kind of product attributes are trending, and so on and so forth. So the one task that we provide is a similar one that we are solving every day. So it's extracting one of the attributes, and in this case is the health claim data. So the idea is that we have a product, and then we our clients interested in what kind of health claims are in the product. So the idea is that it's no fat, no sugar, or it's low fat, low sugar. So there are seven, a number of, not seven, but I think 10 or 12 of these categories. And the idea is that given the text is the text that we extracted from is the text that we see on the web page. Yeah. So usually when you go into the web page in the product, in the retailer site, so you will see a name, description, and the category where this product belongs to. Yes, which we call breadcrumb. So yeah, and based on this information, you need to the task is to extract the relevant information. So the idea is that the difficulty of this task is that one is the language. So because the sample contains as we mentioned, so we have 40 countries, so language comes into play. So we provide both translated and untranslated text, whichever works for you. Another difficulty is that the data comes from various sources. As I mentioned, there's more than 2,000 retailers, and as naturally each retailer has its own peculiarities how they present the data. And the last but not least is the task definition. Yeah. So the idea is that, like, especially with the claims, there is no single definition on how each product produces the claim, because each manufacturer of the product wants to, like, showcase this claim in a different way. So the idea is that, like, so my advice would be, first of all, look closely into how the like in the data, how the labels are assigned, so that that you get the feeling of the definition of the each individual claim, so that you understand, because, like, building a good model means that understanding, like, what is the definition of the model that it wants tries to extract. So that's one thing. Another thing is that, like, yeah, like the previous task, like, explain, like, showed, like, a very nice overview of what kind of things to try. And yeah, and as always, like, so my advice is similar: start small, try bag of words, try to, like, simple models. You can try transformers, but the idea is that the difficulty of this task is that the language of the product description is not natural language, because, as you know, it's like more marketing language, which is kind of can has its own peculiarities. So the idea is that transformers might not work as well as the simple model, like, so as a simple model. So, but on the other hand, like, so there are no, like, preconceived notions. What you have, like, what kind of model you have, anything that works, because that is our approach that we take from the, like, we employ in our company. The model which produces the best result is the model that we use. Another thing is, like, again, so because that was our goal of into the stats, is to showcase the actual business problem. So one thing that is not required in this task, but what we do in company always have to have in mind, is that, so, like, 70 million products coming each day. So the idea is that the model, the resulting model needs to, well, scale up, because we usually, what we do when we do the inferences, like, we do inference on, like, currently we have like 700 million products. So optimal, like, so in this case, simpler models are for us is actually better, because they just run faster. So this thing is only to keep in mind. Probably in this, since the sample is smaller, the considerations about the, like, time it takes to achieve the task is not relevant. But on the other hand, like, so yeah, keep this in mind. So yeah, that's it about the task.
So excellent. You have at least two tasks with the various competences which you will need to focus your attention on how to deal with textual data. And as Vaidotas mentioned, actually you have the problem that the various natural language processing models, which working excellently in many cases, usually have the fixed tokenizer, and if some new keywords appearing, well, what you do next? So maybe I will also touch this problem in this task. So I would like now focus and slightly talk about the third task track. So as I mentioned, usually we do have like a quite trivia data science problems, which usually just addresses the necessity to construct some parametric or non-parametric model for just identify and do identify the what you want to predict, and then in such case have some parametric model created. But nevertheless, we very often need to look at all of the data that we do have and identify whether it's any relationship between the data, and we might find very laughable examples how like various series are correlated while are totally independent and so on. So in this task, we would suggest and we will raise the question about the identification of various functional dependencies and how like a typical data is depending from one direction or another. So basically, our task is identify whether the input values, the x's are implying the y's or vice versa. Basically, we do have that the input values do not have the direct uh, impact on the output, and from that we want to have the ability to look whether we have some causal direction. In this case, the data is simulated, and we do have like a typical functional models, which then have them some various range of the noises added, Gaussian noises added to the simulated data. But nevertheless, if the data is not linear or have some piecewise linearities. In such cases, the inverse model is not working, and the inverse direction from the y to the x is not depending. So in such case, we would also, for this task, would have the benchmark score, which could be achieved with quite simple tools using various causality tests. And from that, we will give it a try to add as one of the notebooks for this task. But nevertheless, for whole data, what you will see, you will basically have the series of the x and the y points, and you will have the label whether the data was generated by the typical implications that some functional dependency plus some randomness is implying the connection. So, as I mentioned, we will have all of the descriptions and suggestions and analysis what will be required from the task at the final event of the 27th. You all will have the quite good ability to give it a try and best shots at all of the three task tracks. And nevertheless, this is only one part of our this year AI Lithuania Hackathon. So in such case, I would like to give the word to the Katrina and our co-organizers of the linked list to talk about so what will be the next and the second part of the AI hackathon in this year.
Thank you so much, Linas. I'll try to share my screen. All right. So, hello everybody, especially those who are who have been waiting for some more information on the startup track. This year, we're definitely very much fortunate that something that has been organized by the Artificial Intelligence Association of Lithuania is now co-organized with us this year, as they had all the knowledge about how to do this hackathon, and we just help with the startup track. So this is something I would like to present to you right now. Now, there is some important information for you to know. So every single slide is a different piece of information that you should be aware of. Let's start with the Slack channels. So we have a channel called Hackathon 2023 AI Startups. So this is basically a channel for you to introduce your idea, find a team to join, build your own team if you want to, or even ask for help. So definitely go ahead and write in the Slack channel. Try to find teammates and try to connect with each other. You can also connect on Slack, but then take the conversation to another platform if that's the case. And if you're not a part of this channel, then definitely I encourage you to join. If you're still missing out, where's the information? Maybe some of my colleagues here can post it in the YouTube comment section. But we hope you have joined this Slack already. And another important information is that there will be a webinar about pitching for every single one of you who are participating at this hackathon. And this pitching webinar will be happening on the 24th, Wednesday at 5 o'clock. It will be online, of course, and it will be all about what should you avoid while pitching, because as you know, there will be a pitching session on the final day of the hackathon at the awards. So to get you ready for that session, to get you ready for your pitch, there will be a separate webinar on that. And more information about the webinar, where to find it, all the other details will be posted on Slack as well. And we could already see that there are some people who have introduced themselves. So well done with that. And just feel free to start introducing yourselves, your idea, or even if you're a team that has already formed and you're not looking for extra members, you can still post about your idea so that other people are aware and maybe they can help you, give you some tips and advice. Another thing to remember is that if you have some people during the week that join your idea, that join your team, you can definitely add them during the week to Slack, so we know that you're more people than started, and you can easily invite them to the pitch day event. And when your team is expanding, you can of course introduce them on Slack channel as well. So we see that you're growing, we see that something is happening with your idea and team. During the next week, we will have lots and lots of mentors, because we definitely want to make sure that this journey for you of trying to build something, trying to find your team members and understand whether or not your product has a fit is easier. So we'll have lots of mentors, and these mentors, they are coming from Startup Wise guys. Most of them, as you can see, will have Agla on the business model and strategy, financial management. We'll have Tihat on idea validation. We'll have Mindaugas on sales and business development. We'll have Asta on coaching on marketing. I will be coaching on idea validation, sales and marketing topics. We will also have Vytautas coaching on sales and business development, Alana on pitching, if you'll still need more pitching help, and then all this on tech and product. So if you feel like some of these topics you still lack some knowledge within, as you can see, these are non-technical topics. So this is just to make sure that also when you're pitching your idea, you know how to represent it, and you can quickly communicate your idea to everyone at the awards day. And then we will also have more technical mentors, as you can see, mostly from the Artificial Intelligence Association of Lithuania. So we'll have Davidas on NLP, AI, and speech recognition. We'll have Karolina on pitches and presentation format. We'll have Linas on deep learning and machine learning. We'll have Aurimas on Python, Vitas on NLP and test tasks. We'll have Aurimas on ML Ops and ML engineering and data engineering. So these are some of the mentors that you will be able to book during the next week. And what will happen is that tomorrow I will be posting on Slack all the important information on how to book them. It will be very simple. There will be just one link. You will click on it and you will find the mentor that you want to book. You will see that mentor has chosen some significant time slots that they're available on, and you will be able to book time with them online. And the important thing here is that all mentors, they don't have lots of time, right? So they have like from 3 to 7 or so different slots during the week. So make sure to be there tomorrow and book them in advance so you get to have their consultation. And yes, this is how the booking will look like. As I mentioned, I will be sharing the link tomorrow, and you'll simply will be able to click on the calendar, see which day which mentor is available, click on the mentor, and you will just be able to send them where to meet, right? So you'll have to create the Google Meets link yourself or Zoom link, and then basically send that to the mentor when you're booking them. By the way, if you have some questions, feel free to write them in the Google, or sorry, not Google, in the Slack or in YouTube chat right now, so I can also answer them. Talking about the final day, Lina's already mentioned it a little bit. So what I wanted to say is that registration is open, right? So you, your friends, everybody who's interested in AI, who wants to see this hackathon, who wants to hear some amazing panels, we're waiting for you on the 27th, either online or right at ISM University in Vilnius. So it's on the Eventbrite. You can register and grab your free ticket, but in this way, we will also know how many of you are coming. And something to mention is that, of course, we'll have the pitching session and we'll have some panel discussions and then the award ceremony. That's the agenda we have for now. And then if you really want to meet some people outside of the event, some of us will stay, so you'll be able to chat, network, and have a great time. And talking about the pitching, this is going to be your jury. So we'll have 5 people, including me, and we'll let you know during the next week what will be the requirements, what we will be looking at, and what we will be evaluating during your pitches, whether that's, the presentation, whether that's how much you have moved during the week with your idea or something else, right? So we will let you know during the next week what is it that we will be mostly focusing on. And why is that important? Well, because of course of the prizes, right? So for the startup track, we have 2,000 euro prize powered by Vilnius Tech Fusion. And this is a prize, that the startup that does the best job will get. We also have another prize, which is sponsored by Baltic Sandbox Ventures. And basically, this is all about getting involved and getting into the incubation program with a possibility for a 15,000 euro grant. Of course, there are some limitations on where the Baltic Sandbox Ventures are, investing, but all about that I will let you know during the next week. So there's plenty of more things that are coming. So hopefully you start building your idea, start working on it now, and then during the next week you can see what the awards celebration is going to be all about. So that's it from me. I wish you all best of luck, because it's definitely not easy to start something out, or if you're already building something, you know that for sure. But we're all, both the association and Linkedis and everybody else involved, are cheering for you.
So, thank you, Katrina. Could you just come back to the final event after the week? So, I just also would like to mention that, well, while we focusing on the just bringing the awards for those who will do their best at those Kaggle challenges, and for those who will give it a try to have the best pitches, we still have one of the main goals as an association to bring everyone and to expand the AI community in Lithuania. So even if you are not just participating and not necessarily would like to get involved in some of the tasks, or you are having some deadlines, you still could have the ability to arrive to the final event, just to chat with the folks from various fields, from various experts in our community, and just enjoy the blooming of the community of the AI in Lithuania. So just arrive on next Sunday at ISM. So I think we give a good start, and we will rolling out all of the hackathon this week. So as Katrina mentioned, we will welcome all the Q&A during the comments on the Slack. And I also would like to wish wishing the best, and let's see each of you on the Sunday.